Kim with Abundant Life Tarot. I just wrapped for our majors Arcana cards for the Herbcrafter's Tarot. I was looking for the box lid. Here, I'll show you. There you go. It's really cool right there. And I wanted to do a formal introduction, a short little video on the minors. And that is because the guidebook kind of does the same thing, where it kind of announces, if you will, the minors that are going to be discussed in the following pages. And I wanted to just give an explanation on how I see and envision this next part of this next leg of our series to go. It is my hope that I can get all of the minors discussed in a video, one video. So swords gets a video, wands gets a video, etc. Best laid plans though, right? So if it turns out that the video is too long, I may have to do them in parts. But the ideal situation is to kind of go through the cards, pick up on different things, looking at my various questions, talking about them, and moving on. You know, picking various questions I'm going to talk about for each card and keeping it brief, keeping it moving so we can get through. Because once I'm done with all the recording of the videos, I'm now going to head back over to my Facebook group, post some threads where we can start having discussions. We can have our tag for the Herbcrafter's Tarot study group. So anything that is associated with it, people just click on the drop down, pick that tag, and it's going to be a part of it that people can consult later and look at and whatnot. And I'm going to have some live streams where we are able to really engage and talk about how we're working with the deck, talk about our experiences, talk about our challenges and our successes with the deck. So I'm like super excited about going into the minors, because once I'm done with the minors, or nearing the completion of the minors, I am going to really kick it into high gear for the tarot study group. We're doing it in phases because I have a lot going on, and I wanted to have all of the cards featured in the deck, because there are people who come to my videos and they don't own the deck yet. They're maybe on the fence on it. Maybe they're not sure. And this is going to allow them to just a snapshot of how I'm working with it. At least they can work with it however they want when they get their deck, but they can follow along too. And it's also for those who have the deck. These videos, I should say, are also for those who have the deck but hasn't been working with it because they don't really know how, and they feel a little like overwhelmed, or like it's like a little bit too ahead of them because it's about herbs and they're not really into herbs. So it's like taking that guesswork out, because I just intuitively know that this is a really special deck. And yeah, I'm not going to let my ignorance of herbs hold me back from using this deck. It's one of those decks that as soon as I heard about it, and I pre-ordered it right away, a long time. Like, I don't even do that anymore, where I just pre-order really early, but it was one of the decks I did, and I love it and I use it. But I've often found that because I hadn't really read the guidebook yet, I was constantly consulting the guidebook. This exercise that I've been doing with recording the videos has been not just about you all and helping you, but it's been about helping me. Like, it's helping me to really get to know the deck, really study the guidebook, and I really have been enjoying it. And I hope you guys have been following along, reading the guidebook as well. And they've got some great spreads that we can even use in our study group sessions to try out. I will be doing videos, I'm sure, at some point, of me doing some of the smaller spreads and just kind of seeing what comes up. I love the guidebook. So let's talk about the minors. So I hope that you had a chance to look at the majors videos, and there should be a playlist. So check that out. But the minor arcana, there's a little intro here from Rachel Pollack, and says Tarot Wisdom. I don't know if this was pulled as a quote from Tarot Wisdom or if this is just saying that Rachel Pollack is known for this book. I don't know. It says, an experience does not have to teach any lesson outside of itself. Find the sacred in the ordinary moments. One of my favorite things. I like that notion. So, I'm going to read this. And what I'm not going to do, though, is go through all of the paragraphs, because we'll leave that for the videos for each of the suits. But I will read this part. It says, the suits, conduits for life. The suits in the Herbcrafter's Tarot are named for the elements necessary to create life. Each suit represents the natural component that allows plants to grow and thrive, as well as the rich symbolism of the element. The elements act as conduits for the manifestation of thoughts, actions, feelings, and forms. Isn't that amazing? Conduits for life are the suits. So, we've got air, traditionally known as the swords. Thoughts, learning are the main key words right there. Fire, action, play. Water, emotions, nourish. Earth, wealth, making. And then the numbers, she talks about phases of growth, which I think we all should definitely, as part of our study group, explore. It's just a basic understanding of some, numerological things that I always think is helpful in readings. You don't have to be a guru at it, but I think it does help. I think just having a general understanding of numerology and how it all plays, it will definitely help your readings along, especially if you're using a deck and you kind of freeze when you're starting to read professionally and you're like, oh my God, you can always fall back to that numerology knowledge, so just some little tip. And she talks about the people, the Hias, Adelitas, the Madres, and the Curandia. I'm going to butcher this, so I won't say that today. I'm going to Google how to pronounce this, or YouTube it. You can YouTube a word and then have them correctly say it, and I'm going to parrot it back so I don't butcher it like I just did. And so the curanderas, they're healers. They're the kings in traditional tarot. The madres, mothers, queens in traditional tarot. The adelitas, warriors, knights in traditional tarot. And the hias, daughters, pages in traditional tarot. Nice. And so I think, let's see, they go into the aces, then the twos, and the threes. So that's going to be kind of a challenge, I'm thinking. I should have thought about that. We could probably still work around that. I might just pick some highlights and tab the highlights of the cards that I think we really need to talk about in the suit. Maybe I won't talk about every single card in the suit. It would be nice, but, for time's sake and just to keep this moving, keep this going, because it's looking like this is going to be my study group deck for the good part of the year, and then I'll probably have a vote on my Facebook page and in my Facebook group on the next deck that we'll focus on, the next study group. So we'll see. We'll see how this goes. I think that's going to be what I do, is tab. We'll look at all of the cards and I'll tab the ones that I'm like, oh yeah, we need to check this meaning out. And it doesn't take much to kind of thumb through and find the card. But I really want to keep these videos I don't want to have them super long. So there you have it. So we are finally moving into the minors. Thank you so much for staying on this journey with me. I would love hearing your comments about the deck, about your experience with the deck, about your challenges, about what you find gratifying and exciting about it. And I love hearing from each of you. I love when I see conversations happening with all of you. Keep it going. And thank you so much. All right, take good care of yourselves, and I will see you all in the next video.